In the heart of a scorching desert, a river once carved life into dust. But it did more than feed crops. It nurtured mysteries too ancient for memory, too powerful to ignore. From its sacred banks rose a people who stared at the stars, not in wonder, but in remembrance. They claimed to have come from them, but what did they mean? They called it Zep Tepi, the first time, a golden era before pharaohs, before war, when gods ruled on earth and men learned from their wisdom. But where is the evidence? Beneath layers of sand and stone, behind sealed tombs and forbidden texts, something ancient still sleeps. The pyramids are not tombs. No mummy, no inscriptions, no treasure, just geometry that defies modern comprehension. Stones the size of trucks were moved across miles of desert. Not once, but thousands of times. No wheels, no cranes, just silence. Why do the pyramids align so precisely with Orion's belt? Why do their shafts point directly at specific stars? Were they monuments to the dead, or maps to the sky? Cosmic antennas, machines for energy, memory, or something even stranger? Every block is angled, every edge measured. It would take supercomputers to plan what they did by hand, unless they weren't alone. Even today, no one can replicate the Great Pyramid. Not in size, not in perfection, not in purpose. What if the question isn't how they built them, but why? And who were they building for? Inside the temples, priests spoke of beings from the sky, not spirits, not metaphors. Beings with names, with forms, with power. Ra, the sun god, who flew in a blazing ship. Thoth, the architect of time. Anubis, guardian of souls. But were they gods or guides? Why did they teach humans to preserve the dead? Why mummify? Unless they knew death wasn't the end. Mummies, still intact after 4,000 years, still whisper their names. Skin, teeth, hair, all preserved as if time paused for them. They believed the soul could return, but only if the body remained. A vessel, a portal, a beacon, and the heart was judged, weighed against a feather, too heavy with sin, and the soul was devoured. The Book of the Dead wasn't a myth. It was a guidebook, a manual for passing realms, unlocking gates, defeating chaos. But most scrolls were lost, burned, hidden, or taken. The secrets scattered by time, empire, and fear. And in the Great Fire of Alexandria, when the world's knowledge burned, what was lost may never be known. Yet some whisper that fragments survived, buried in secret chambers, sealed under stone, marked by symbols we still fail to read. The Hall of Records, a chamber beneath the Sphinx, spoken of in prophecy, sought by emperors, but never found. Why does the Sphinx gaze forever east, toward the rising sun, or toward something returning? Erosion patterns on its body suggest it predates the pharaohs by thousands of years. Who carved it, and what did it guard? Legends speak of a lost civilization before Egypt, one that fell, one that left warnings hidden in stone. Floods, fire, sky gods angry with man. Stories that echo across all ancient cultures. Different lands, same myths. Were they stories or memories? Survivors leaving blueprints, hints for the next rise of mankind. Scene 28, blueprints encoded in numbers. Sacred geometry, language built not from sound but from form. The golden ratio, pi, the speed of light, hidden in pyramid dimensions. Accident or message, and deep within temples, beneath frescoes and obelisks, symbols appear again and again. Stars, serpents, eyes that watch. The eye of Ra, the eye of Horus. Symbols of divine sight. Or surveillance from above. Their temples resonate with sound, frequencies that heal or reveal. Was sound their key to building, to memory? Today we see ruins, but once they saw power and feared who would misuse it. Initiates past knowledge in silence, through gestures, through dreams, never to be written, only lived. And when strangers came, invaders, colonizers, looters, they buried their secrets deeper. Some say the priests never died. They went underground, into the desert, into myth, but not gone. They wait for the return of Ma'at, balance, truth, cosmic harmony. And as our world tilts toward chaos again, the sands begin to stir. What awakens beneath the dunes may not be legend, but legacy. And what we choose to see may reshape what we are destined to become. Some claim the ancient Egyptians harnessed energy, not just of earth, but of consciousness, a technology of the mind. The Djed pillar wasn't just symbolic. Some say it was a stabilizer, a conductor, a device. Why were so many temples built atop underground aquifers? Water, stone, frequency, an ancient circuit. From Karnak to Abydos, vibration was sacred. Chants, hymns, walls that sang with resonance. Could this explain their feats? Not brute strength, but harmonics that lifted stone like sound lifts salt. What did they truly know about the brain, the soul and memory stored in the flesh? In ancient carvings, the pineal gland appears again and again. Our inner eye, our receiver. They painted beings with elongated skulls. Were these depictions symbolic or anatomical? In Amarna, royal skulls were different. Genetics, or remnants of another people. Akhenaten, the heretic king, worshipped only the sun. But his sun was no orb, it was a disk with hands. Some say he saw something, knew something, a celestial intelligence hidden behind light. After his death, records were erased, names chiseled out. Was it madness or truth too dangerous? The Rosetta Stone gave us language, but not meaning. We read the words, but not the soul. Each temple is a map, not of geography, but of the body, the mind, the cosmos. As above, so below. The Milky Way mirrored by the Nile, Orion mirrored by the pyramids. Did they see the earth as a living being? Temples as chakras, energy centers on a sacred spine? And were they trying to awaken something? In the land, or in us, ancient Egypt wasn't primitive. It was precise, surgical, mathematical, intentionally veiled. They didn't fear death. They mapped it, mastered it, turned it into a journey. So why do we still dismiss their legacy as myth? What are we afraid to remember? Maybe it's because we sense a truth buried deeper than sand, a mirror held to our forgotten potential. And if we dared to look, what would we see staring back from beneath the dunes? Some say deep beneath the Giza Plateau lies an ancient vault, sealed not with locks, but vibration. A chamber hidden for 10,000 years. Not built by pharaohs, but preserved by priests of light. They left no maps, only riddles, only resonance, waiting for us to rediscover what we once knew. If we listened, not just with ears, but with awareness, could we hear what the stones remember? Legends whisper of a sound so pure, it could lift stone, open portals, heal minds. And that sound was sacred, spoken only by the initiated, lost when the last temple fell. We call it myth, but what if myth is memory, coded, fragmented, wrapped in time? The ancients watched the stars as calendars, but also as messages. Movements in the heavens echoed changes on Earth. When certain stars aligned, gates opened, not just in the sky, but in consciousness. Initiates timed rituals to these alignments, knowing when the veil was thinnest, when truth could pass through. Today we marvel at their ruins, but they weren't ruins then. They were machines, alive with energy, intention, alignment. And they tell a story not of kings, but of cosmology, a memory of who we once were. The pharaohs were symbols, avatars of principle, of balance, of divine mind made manifest. Their crowns held cobras, symbols of Kundalini, the serpent force that rises within. Was Egypt a society or a school, a path to awaken the god within? Each temple was a lesson, each ritual a doorway, each death a return. We think we're modern, but what if we're just remembering backwards? For what they built, we still can't understand. But what they became, that's the real secret. Buried beneath stone are not just bodies, but blueprints for consciousness, for becoming. The Sphinx doesn't speak, it stares. And what it stares at is your awakening. If you dare to look back long enough, the past may recognize you. Because Egypt wasn't just built for them, it was built for us. For this time, the priests knew the cycle, the rise, the fall, the forgetting, the return. And they encoded the return not in prophecy, but in pattern, in rhythm, in stone. Now, as we awaken again, the symbols begin to speak. The temples begin to stir. They never left us, we left them. And now, we're listening once more. Listen to the silence beneath the sand. It hums, it calls. You are not just watching history. You are standing in it. You are made of it. The Nile still flows. The stars still align. The codes still pulse beneath the earth. Not all pyramids are made of stone. Some are made of thought. of intention, of light. And the greatest temples are the ones built inside the mind. The ancients weren't primitive, they were guardians. And now their watch returns. We are not the first civilization to rise, nor will we be the last. But we may be the first to remember. If you felt something stir while listening, you've been here before. In dreams, in déjà vu, in the space between waking and sleep, fragments surface. The desert speaks in symbols, and symbols are keys. Keys to doors we locked ourselves. Doors we are now ready to open. This is not a history lesson. It is a reawakening. So follow the echo. Follow the light behind the eyes of stone. Ask not just what is Egypt, but what part of me is Egypt, because you are more ancient than you know, and more eternal than you dare believe. What waits beneath the sands is not danger, it is destiny. The pyramids are not the end. They are the beginning. And the Sphinx still waits, still watches, still remembers. The past isn't gone, it's encoded, it's awake. You are the mystery you seek, the question and the key. So step forward, not in fear, but in remembrance.